Alright, so this is going to be a massive video and I have a lot to talk about, so I'm going to try and make it as quick as possible, but realistically, if I want to cover everything in a good tutorial, it's going to be around a 30-minute video, let's be real. I'll try and make it as quick as possible, but if there's any explanationing that I need to do, I might make that as a separate video. But let's get right into it. Let me sync. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is the main area that I have right here. This is going to be the gambling casino and currency exchange area. Now, just as a preface, you might want to have you want it to be completely closed off, and you can do this using commands and whatnot. Make sure it's completely closed off. Make sure you don't have any single area that anyone could get in here without using commands. All right, so now we have this right here, right? And it's meant to teleport you inside of there. And then when you get teleported inside of here, you have you're going to be put in adventure mode. So you can't break anything. You can't break any blocks or signs or anything like that. The most you can do is flip this sign right here. I was about to call it a shield. And then you have simply just an exit out. I can't open it right now because I'm not in creative, but you just do it like that simply. Cool. So let me put myself back in survival, or creative, sorry. I just kind of wanted to show that off. That's kind of like an entrance area, and yes, I'm on Xbox using an Xbox controller, so I forgot the slash. I've been doing too many command blocks. Okay. So just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to break this down. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so I'm going to cut that down a little bit. Anyways, right here I have the sign right here, and you can pause this and read it, but that's not the important part. The important part is that you have to have a number of scoreboards, and generally I'll just show off these scoreboards right here. So you have this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. I just have them there to add them, and you have the money on the right-hand side, and that's what it is. I'll leave a link in the video description below to show you how to do that. That's going to be from somebody else because I I guess it is what it is. I copied their strategy, and I'm using the exact same strategy they used. I'm going to leave a link so you guys know how to do that. The point that is important here is the currency part. Now, there's a lot of in-depth parts to this currency part here. So keep in mind, right? So this is the area that we have here that we're working. Keep in mind, what the first thing that's going to happen, we have a lot of things that are going to happen at once. So the very first thing that's going to happen is you're going to have three. First, it's going to test to see how much money you have. Now, I said that to enter the gambling arena, you're going to have 5 money. Now, you can select whatever amount you want, but you just do scoreboard player test FP money 5. That's what I have, but you can do whatever money you want, and then whatever limit you want. I have 15, or I have 2 to the power of 16, just because. But you're supposed to have a large number, is the point. Now, this next one, you have scoreboards, players remove, add P5, money 5. This should seem familiar because it's essentially what I do for trading. I think for selling, but I'm not exactly sure. It's selling or buying. All right, and this one's the important one. Set block at a specific location. That specific location happens to be this location. So we're going to place the block here, and it's going to do all of these commands, okay? And it's going to be this command, this command, this command, this command, and it's going to jump out of these, it's going to activate these furnaces. All right, so that's what that red block does. Now, right after that, it's going to clone these 3 blocks. Essentially what it does is it clones these 3 furnaces, or sorry, I keep saying furnaces, sorry, dispensers. It's going to clone these 3 dispensers, and it's going to paste them over here with these 3 dispensers. That way, every time you get a new roll, you're going to get a fully clean dispenser. That's going to be full of items. Now, the items I have are just going to be all of the swords and almost all of the axes, and they're all labeled in different ways, and that's mostly just for convenience as far as using the commands. That's the only reason why I did this, because I wanted it to be as convenient as possible. So, and keep in mind that this is the system I used before they added the Bedrock edition, where they just had the elements, and you just typed in a different number of elements. That's okay. Here we have these are all 3 the same, right? So what happens is when you press this button over here, it drops the 3 of these items, right? And they're all randomly dropped. And what it does is before it drops the items, it refills the dispenser to make sure that all of the items are full, and it drops all 3 of these items individually. So, and keep in mind, each furnace has to be, or sorry, I keep saying furnace. Each dispenser that you're going to have to dispense items has to be exactly the same. Every single one has to have the exact same amount of objects. I decided to fill them all up with 9 different unique items. But you can have 8, but they have to be filled the exact same way for each one in order for this to work. Alright, so essentially what it does is it places, like I said, when you press this button, it goes through and it places the redstone block here, which activates this redstone right here, right? So just for the sake of showing you what's going on here, I'm going to get a redstone block, and I don't know where it is in the menu. I'm also kind of trying to hurry up as fast as possible because I don't have much time. Boom! So it dispensed all of this. Awesome. All right. So it disappeared it. That's a good point. All right. So that's right. I'm going to have to, well, okay, so what happens is the redstone block spawns here. And right next to it, the air replaces it. This is the exact same spot, right? This is the spot where the air block, or where the redstone block was placed. You have a connector leading to it somewhere, but at least in this area right here, you have the same block on a timer. This one has a 2-tick delay. That disables the redstone block almost immediately after. But the redstone block does have to be placed in the first place. But it immediately gets rid of it right after so. So after that, you have 2 different pistons, or 2 different repeater directions. You have this one that goes in this direction, which will be telling you to teleport in this direction. That way, it's exclusive, right? That's what it's doing. Whenever I teleport, right? This is the one that's telling me to teleport. All you do is teleport to the area where you want them to pick up the items, where the dispensers drop the items. Okay? In this case, I teleported them over there, facing this way. That way, they'd be facing the correct direction. But you don't need to do that. That's just what I did. Then over here, you have the clear items, and there's going to be a lot of clears. It's going to clear all the different types of swords and axes that you have. So just kind of to show you, we have /clear wooden sword, we have stone sword, golden sword. I did stone, I did wooden, stone, gold, iron, diamond. Now, I know that's not the traditional way of doing it, but that's the way I did it, okay? Just so everyone's on the same page. So iron, diamond, wooden axe, stone axe, golden axe, iron axe. Alright, so it's going to go through, and these are all conditional, and these are all chains. Why is this one unconditional? Whatever, regardless, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's conditional or unconditional. It's going to delete all of your items, and I have that on the sign here. It says right here, warning, pressing this button will delete all swords and axes. So everybody going in has to know that it's going to delete any kind of swords they have. Say they come in from outside, and they have their own diamond sword, right? And they press that button, it'll delete the diamond sword even if they made it themselves. Even if it has enchantments, regardless, it will delete it. So, make sure that anybody doing this has to keep this in mind. Over here, we have the redstone lever pushing this, and it's kind of actually important that you have these as separate areas, because that's going to come into play in just a moment. And it's going to go over here, and it's going to jump and push these dispensers out. And you're going to pick up your items. I have double the amount of items because I pressed the button twice. Generally, you're not supposed to have double the items, but that was just for demonstration. You're only supposed to get 3 items, or at least the way I'm doing it, you're only supposed to get 3 items. Now, if you have 2 or more of the same items, so hold on, let's go through. Keep in mind, these are all the same. All of these rows or columns, whatever you want to call them, all of these rows are the exact same, with the main difference being that it either says golden, it says the item. If it even includes the item in that specific block, it says the name of the item. So for this one, it's stone axe. For this one, it's stone sword. For this one, it's wooden axe, okay? Those are the only difference between all of these. So I'm going to show one of these rows, and keep in mind that all of these rows are the exact same, except the name is changed, okay? So right here, we have wooden sword. Let's see the timing on the recording. 30 seconds, okay. I'm going to end this recording real quick because I still have more to say. Alright, this is part 2 of the recording Minecraft Blue Blue Blue. Let's sync. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I synced from the bottom. That was kind of weird. Anyways, so like I said right here, /clear FP wooden sword. And make sure you have the 0 and the 1. Okay, if you don't have the 0 and the 1 at the back, then it will not delete one item, and it needs to delete exactly one item. If you don't have the 0 and the 1, it'll delete all of the wooden swords, which it's supposed to do, but it won't have a conditionality to it, and it needs to have a conditional reaction. So it has to delete one sword. If it successfully deletes one sword, then it will go to the next command and will delete another sword. Now, if it deletes two swords, the way I'm doing it, if you get two of the same items, you will get about half of your money back. You will get 3/5 of your money back, right? So you spent 5 to come in here. If you did 2, you will get 3 of those monies back, right? Now, if you get 3 of those monies back successfully, which you should, it's impossible for you to get this far without, it's impossible for you to do this without getting this successfully. After you get your money successfully back, if you have another wooden sword, 3 wooden swords, and remember I'm saying wooden swords, but this could be any type of tool. If you have 3 of the same items, then you will get a larger sum of money, much more than the amount that you were originally given. So in this case, right, if you have 2 wooden swords, you get 3 money. If you have 3 wooden swords, you'll get 197 money. Now, these are all the same. Like I said, every single one of these is the same, all right? The only difference is that they're different items, and I have the items listed up here in the front. Now, this is the important part, exiting. Now, when you're having to exit, you have to do 3 important things, and I'm going to show all of those really quickly. First, you need to set the redstone block in a specific area. That specific area is going to be in between this. It's going to activate this, right? It's going to activate these, but not activate these. It has to activate the ones that tell you to clear all your items without activating the one that enables the dispensers to jump out, okay? So when I press this, let's just say, well, you know what? I'll get to that in just a second. Anyways, so after that, it's going to then replace that with air. So very simple. Make sure there's a delay in between these ones. It's going to place the redstone block. Immediately after, it's going to replace that redstone block with air. After that, it's going to teleport you outside of this area. So when I press this button, boom, it's teleporting me over here, outside. Simple. These are the very important blocks because it makes sure that people can't cheat the system. This block, why are these, by the way, why are these, it's supposed to be chain, not impulse. It's supposed to be, I mean, I'm not gonna mess with it because it works, so it doesn't matter. But anyways, you're gonna have to have it split and make sure there's a delay in between these things because otherwise the person will die, which is kind of where this delay comes in. But make sure there's a delay between these two anyways. So first, it's going to fill the entire ground underneath the area where you are. This is the entire area where I am, right? So this entire area right here, which first, let me show you what it looks like with barriers, right? This entire area right here is, you can walk around, right? And for my example, I use barriers. So let's get rid of this just so you can see what happens for a split second. When I press this button, it's going to first teleport me, and it's going to remove all of the ground that I can possibly walk on. This is all of the areas where you can possibly walk on. You cannot get anywhere else. If you were not to teleport, you would burn to death in this lava. That's very important because that also means that any items that anybody in this area drops will also get burnt in lava. But right after that, you're going to have a command here. Oh, that's my bad. You're going to have a command block here that replaces that with something you can walk on. For example, barriers. So with the way I have it, it deletes this entire area that used to be barriers, and it's going to replace it with blocks just a moment later. So just to show you kind of an example, right? Say I wanted to cheat the system. Let's go through and play like a faux game, right? I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this, right? I got wooden, gold, I got 3 different types of swords, okay? So I was like, man, I want to cheat. Let me drop these swords right here real quick, and I'm going to come back for them later. Well, guess what? When you press the button, the entire thing turns to lava, and the swords... Why did they not fall in the lava? supposed to fall in the lava. Did I mess up the, Did I mess up? Oh, that's right, because there was a delay, and whoops. Anyways, it's because I think I deleted them. Anyways, so they're supposed to fall in the lava, and there you go. Boom, they're gone. So, because they fall in the lava, I can't come back and, pick up the things and be like, woohoo, I have 7, or I have 6 swords, I'm going to cheat. Because they drop the things in the lava, nobody can cheat in that way. And this should be completely cheat-proof. As long as they're in adventure mode, this is completely cheat-proof. There is no way they can cheat the system. They're going to have to play by the rules 100%. Now, like I said, I use barriers, but you can use whatever materials you want. I think that's pretty much it for all of the ground rules. But I want to show you an example I want to show you 2 different examples. One case where it works, where you get 2 of the things, and one case where you don't. Say, for example, oh man, I got 2 swords out of the 3 possible items. Well, I'm going to go here, and as you can see, I got 3 money. If you saw it, I went from 566 to 569. Alright, well now I'm going to leave. I don't have any more swords anymore. But say I had 3 golden axes, I guess. Say I got really lucky. I got 3 golden axes in a row. Wow, what are the odds of that? I think 1 out of 81, according to math. And I was like, wow, I got 3 golden axes. I pressed the button, boom. It gave me 200 because it gave me 3 and then the 197. So, as you can see, it just works right there. So people are able to gamble with all they want. And like I said, if they try and cheat and be like, oh man, I got 2 golden axes, and I can't do anything with the sword, so I'm gonna leave it here. Well, guess what? Boom. It falls in the lava, and now it's dead. It's gone. This has been your tutorial on how to make a casino. I hope I did a decent enough job in the short amount of time. You're gonna absolutely probably have to slow down the video. And let me also do this real quick. Let me do this real quick, just so everyone's on the same page with this part right here. That might have been a little bit confusing. So I press this button right here. This is where the redstone block is. It's activating this right here, but not activating this. So it's deleting all of your items, as do part of this, and it's not activating the furnaces. Now, just because it's very small, slowly together, or for my case, it's very close together, so it might not do this in your case, but that's how it's going to generally do it. Let me also double check and make sure that it functions the way that it's supposed to. Let me pull out my swords just in case. So say I got 3 wooden swords. Oh, okay, so it didn't get rid of the swords. Did I? Oh, wait, did I not do the thing correctly? Or maybe it just didn't get rid of the swords. It said, place the redstone block, but I think actually it's because it's too close. That's possible. So in this case, I'll do this. This is no big deal. I'll do this. I guess I'll do this. And I'll have to do this. Am I doing this and this at the same time? No, I don't want to do this. Now I gotta think. Kind of dug myself into a deep hole here. Right. Where can I put it? Right here. But then I will have to replace it with the redstone dust. But that's fine. What's the code for redstone dust? Let me look that up real quick. Alright, so redstone. It's just called redstone. Okay. So I gotta replace this with... Oh, I need to get the new coordinates too. So this is 6971.9. 6971.9, and it's going to replace it with on 6971.9. Instead of air, it's going to be redstone. And that should work. Let's double check. There we go. Good. Awesome. All right. So, looks like it's working now. All Alright, let me sync real quick. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so after me trying to figure out what was going on after a little bit, I realized that it's redstone underscore wire, not redstone, just by itself. So what you have here is instead, now if you have a better system, then if you have a better system, you don't need to worry about any of this. But with the system I have, you need to set the block for redstone. I need to set the redstone block here, right? Replace this item and have this go through. This won't go through because of this repeater. It does use the furnace though. Or the furnace, I keep saying the furnace. Although, actually, now that I think about it, that doesn't matter, because it deletes the items. So, realistically, I did all of this for no reason. Because it deletes the items. It drops the items into the lava when you press the button. Or, yeah, when you press the button, it drops the items into the lava after the fact. Does it do it before or after? That's the biggest question. Because if it does it before, then that's fine. If it does it after, that might be an issue. Well, I don't see the items, so I'm going to assume it worked fine. Well, the thing is, yeah, these are all almost empty. I mean, it doesn't matter, because when you press the button, it'll refill first. See, it dropped. Why did it do it twice? Do it twice. Because wait, what did it do? Did I mess that up? That's fine. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me exit. Okay, let me exit. Let's make sure this is empty. This isn't empty. How did this happen? Oh, because it dropped the items beforehand, but it doesn't drop the items when you enter. Yeah, that's an issue. Okay. Okay. I'm going to have to put this in a different, or I'm going to have to somehow push this to the right, because I need this redstone to be activated. Because if I have the redstone, actually, when the redstone dust was here, that wasn't a problem. At 68.71.8. It couldn't be here, but it can be here, 68.71.8. And that will activate this without activating. No, it would. It would activate that. Yeah, that's right. That's the whole point. It's because that would activate that. Okay. So, where can I put it where I have enough space? Or I could just push all of this one forward. And then I could have that here. And that would be activating that. And then I could have another redstone repeater here. Or, I can have a redstone repeater here. And have the redstone block spawn here. I think that's what I had before. I think I might be back tracing. So if I have okay, what's the issue with that? Is there any issue with having the redstone block spawn here at what is this? 68.71.7. So if it spawns at 68.71.7, let's do that. And the thing is, I have to go back to air. So 68.71.7. That's what I had originally. Why did I get rid of it? Is it because it didn't work, right? It's because it doesn't work. I was about to literally, yeah, crap, because it doesn't activate that. That's right. Okay. All right. That's fine. I can make this work. I can make this work. I think I'm going to need to push all of these one forward, actually. Because I think I need one more space. So let me do that. I'm going to have to clone all of these. Well, I got to make sure I get this correct. I can't just mess around. So let me just get a ground rules for this one. So I place this here, and it goes. I did the wrong thing. I do this one, it goes up that way. So that's in the positive 1 direction, or positive Z direction. So I need to do in the negative Z direction. So, should work. Okay, so that's fine. So I'm going to have to copy all these by 1. I'm going to have to do this, 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 this. So presumably, if all of those work like planned, I can do this, and I can spawn the redstone block here back where it used to spawn. And these should all be good, right? So let's take a look. 68, 71, 7. So that's what I originally had. I just needed to not be lazy. So 68, 71, 7. 68, 71, 7. Air. Okay. So this should work, right? It deletes all of my potential axes. So let's, here, how about this? We'll do this, get rid of this. Yoink. Let's see, for what? Here, activated that. Yep, perfect, awesome. So, boy, that's howdy embarrassing. Actually, let's double check and make sure it works. Double check. It didn't work. Oh, it's because I didn't replace it. Wait, did I replace it? I did replace it. Huh. Why didn't it work? Should have activated these. Maybe it's because it wasn't long enough? It doesn't matter, though. As long as there's some delay. There's a delay between this one, yeah. Block place, block place. This block could not be placed. 68, 7. So, why? Because the block was already there. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. Wow. Okay, so there we go. Boom. God damn. So I'm pretty smart. I know the inner workings of commands. Like, goddamn. By the way, let me also clarify that I'm not like a super duper smart person who understands the ins and outs. A lot of this was once again based off of the smartness and intelligence of the guy who taught me, who showed me the stuff in the command blocks. It, like I said, link in the description. Big props to him because otherwise I would not know what I was gonna do. But all of this system I completely created by myself. If someone happens to have a similar system, that's pure coincidence. This entire casino system I made completely by myself using my... So, this is completely my original idea. Maybe somebody has a similar system. That's possible. I'm not denying that as a possibility. But this system with these specific attributes, or just a system in general, anything here that I created over here involving the casino itself, and not the currency, but the casino itself, I created by myself, with no help, no assistance, or anything like that. That's just 100% all, just for clarification, right? So thank you all. If you happen to end up using this, let me know. I highly doubt that there's going to be an extremely large amount of viewers that are also happen to use this, but hey, you know what? You never know. I'll leave a link to maybe and maybe I'll have like an end card for one of my future videos. I don't really care that much, or one of my past videos probably. But I hope that everything here, everybody understood. If there was something you didn't understand, I will leave a comment and I will try and explain it in a comment. If not, well, sorry, because I feel like I did a pretty good enough job of explaining it. And if there's something you don't understand, just watch the video again, because it should be very clear. Feel free to slow the video down multiple times. Make sure that you understand everything that's going on. There might have been points in times where it wasn't the clearest. But that's okay. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Check out any other future videos, or if you want me to do something kind of similar to this, I don't know. Let me just back up sync real quick. Also, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That was a. There we go. Good. Awesome. All right. So, looks like it's working now. It's working as a pro. Oh no, it's not. It didn't replace this with. Well, that's the end of that recording. It didn't replace. Did I type in the coordinates wrong? Very possible. Maybe I need to make it air and then that might be the case. Maybe I need to make it air. Ah. Huh. Oh, it's because set block 69719 redstone block redstone. I spelled it right. So if it was air, would it work? It would. So did I misspell redstone? REDSTONE. It's just called redstone in the commands, right? Yeah, it's just called redstone. It's just called redstone. So why isn't it working? But the thing is with the code. So okay. How about this? Let's do /set block. Oh, it's redstone underscore wire. I like how none of this is even recorded. So if I do this, it should work. Did I get rid of all of my items? Did I do that? Oh, I did do that by accident. Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. That was an accident. Whoops. Let me do a contingency part of this video.